It finally happened. Erik Gudbranson is a member of the Vancouver Canucks for 3 years. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be thinking, Ligarox, man, I saw your video back a few weeks ago on re-signing Gudbranson. You're probably furious right now. You probably really dislike this because you said in the video, any opportunity that we have to trade Gudbranson for a lot of assets coming back is a wasted opportunity if we don't use it, and the fact that we're even considering re-signing him, that's absolutely bollocks and it sucks and everything. Okay, guys, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this deal, an average annual value of $4 million over 3 years. Next year, it's going to be 4.4, the year after that, it's going to be 4.6, and the year after that, it's going to be 3. So that's an average annual value of $4 million, with no trade clauses. He's basically a free man. He doesn't have a no-trade clause, he doesn't have a no-move clause. We can trade him whenever we want. And I highlight that. I highlight the idea that we're able to trade him because, guys, I still have this hope inside of me that we're going to trade Erik Gudbranson, even though we just signed him, because he doesn't have a no-move clause. But other than that, let's actually start talking about this. So, Erik Gudbranson gets re-signed to a 4x3 deal, and overall, I said in the last video where I talked about Erik Gudbranson that I really wouldn't like it if he came back because he was absolute trash. I said that he was bad on the penalty kill, the power play, our own zone, their zone, the neutral zone. I said he was bad everywhere. But I really gotta give credit where credit is due. Because if you're watching the Canucks games, and you've been watching the games recently, you watched that smoking 6-1 against the Boston Bruins. You saw a few of the recent games. You'd notice that Erik Gudbranson has actually picked up his game ever since he came back from injury. Honestly, he's been one of the better defensemen in the recent span of time, and it's not surprising to me that I'm saying that. Because earlier at the beginning of the year, remember when Gudbranson was playing with Del Zotto and that pairing was awesome? And that pairing absolutely got things done? That pairing at the beginning of the season, Erik Gudbranson, Michael Del Zotto, it really showcased to us the fact that both of these players know how to play. And Erik Gudbranson is capable of playing at this level. Sure, he sucked a little bit later on. He was really, really bad. Gudbranson and Hutton it was atrocious. You don't want to see that anymore. But Gudbranson really has been a player who's shown that he can play. And recently, he's been showing that he can play as well. He's gotten like a goal or two in the past few games. I think it was just 1 goal. But he's been playing well recently, ever since he came back. And this is the kind of Gudbranson that Canucks fans want to see coming back. This Gudbranson that was able to get this immense amount of impact on the team throughout the past few games. This is the Gudbranson that we want to expect. This is the Gudbranson that Jim Benning signed to this 4x3 deal. And that's why I'm okay with it. Because earlier, when I talked about re-signing Gudbranson in the other video, that was taken from the perspective of, yeah, no, he sucks. He sucks, that's it. Like, him playing with Hutton, it's so bad. Penalty kill? Nope, I don't want him out there. And that was the point in the season where Gudbranson was arguably playing his worst hockey. And now he's coming back, and he's showing himself, yeah, that Gudbranson that you saw playing with Del Zotto at the beginning of the year, that Gudbranson, he still exists, man, and he's right here. So, I think the biggest thing that we have to issue with Gudbranson is just his consistency. His consistency is the only thing that we have to pay attention to. Because if Gudbranson plays every night, like how he played against Boston, we got a good player on our hands. And we got a player who's still young and who's still got sort of an ability to grow. I mean, he's 26 or whatever, so he's got a limited number of years, but they're still there, don't get me wrong. So, it's all about his consistency, in my opinion. If he proves to be inconsistent like he has been this entire season, then, oh my god, this is a bad re-signing. It's the exact same Gudbranson that everybody's getting pissed off about in the previous segments of the season. But I want to talk about the fan reactions here. So, if you go onto Twitter, go into Hockey Reddit talks about how Gudbranson really isn't as bad as a lot of people make him out to be. And I'll agree with you there, because he's recently shown that he's actually really capable. Like, when he trampled Marchand, that was beautiful. Playing against Boston, that was a really good performance by him. And he really did show us that he has the capability to have a strong game. And that's the kind of player that you want at $4 million for 3 years. The fact that other people are talking about this as like, yeah, it makes sense, and I can understand where this is coming from, and I believe it's the right thing to do, you got some fans on the side of this signing, and you got some fans that appreciate this and think that it's the right move, and I respect that. I absolutely respect that, and I understand where they're coming from. But then there are also the other fans on hockey Twitter. Once again, it is the hockey Reddit that is absolutely positive, and it's the hockey Twitter that is the utmost negative experience to ever exhibit. It's hockey Twitter here that really doesn't like this move, and is just complaining and everything. There are some really good arguments going out there, talking about how this is another example of Benning's asset management being poor, how the fact that once Benning got re-signed, this was the moment where we were like, okay, that means the trade deadline is going to be huge, we're going to get a lot of good up-and-comers coming in through trades and everything, but then right after Benning makes this kind of re-signing, like, no, what is that? Like, there's a lot of good arguments out there supporting the idea that this signing is bad. And there are a lot of people that still believe that the Erik Gudbranson that we're seeing now, the Erik Gudbranson that got re-signed to 4x3, is the Erik Gudbranson that was really poorly playing with Ben Hutton. And if he can just be consistent, this will be a good signing. If you want to take a look at what other general managers around the league think, there was a nice tweet over by Pierre LeBrun. He was talking to other general managers in the National Hockey League, and one of them said that, well, Erik Gudbranson, at $4 million average annual value, that's magnificent. That's absolutely awesome. And if you want to look at that, then that just basically means that, well, GMs around the league really value this, and they think it's really good. And, of course, the immediate instinct that a lot of you guys will be thinking is, well, if teams thought that was good, why didn't we trade him? We could have gotten things back. We could have gotten prospects and picks. If teams valued him that highly, where $4 million over 3 years is really good, why didn't we trade him? And I completely understand where you guys are coming from on that. But this is why I'm still hoping for the possibility of a trade. There were many people online talking about, is this going to be a sign and trade, where we sign the guy, we re-sign him, we give him a contract, and then we trade him away. If that is the case, then oh man, I don't know if I want that. First off, if we do have something like that, I truly believe that Benning will get value back for Gudbranson. Because if teams around the league are valuing him at this cap, they like his talent and everything, and they believe that this value is awesome for a player like him, I know we're going to get some stuff back. And some stuff that we probably really need. But I don't know if I want to do, like, doesn't that seem kind of shady? I know it happens once in a while. But I just don't like the idea of re-signing a guy, him coming out to the press, talking about how he's committed to playing for you for the next 3 years, and then trading him away right by the next trade deadline, which is in a week, by the way. It doesn't really feel morally right to me. I've always kind of been a person who has relied on morals more than anything else. If something doesn't feel right, I'm not going to do it, and if something feels wrong to the point where I'm putting somebody down, I don't like doing things, but I don't know. This might be like just a little bit of personal feelings coming into this, but I don't know if I really would like having that. Of course, though, if it does happen, I really would expect value back, and I'm open to having value back. It's just that I don't know how, as a GM, somebody could go along with that. Sure, I'm a fan, and as a fan, I wouldn't really do that myself, but if it happens, then awesome. But, you know, anything can happen in the world of sports, and who knows? Who knows? I know I said it, things like this happen all the time. It's just that if we executed a sign and trade kind of deal with Gudbranson, boy, Jim Benning. First, he gets the contract that the GMs want, and then he trades him away for assets back. That would be an absolute win in my books. It's an absolute win. I said in the video talking about Gudbranson a few weeks ago that I would have been really pissed off if we gave him $6 million at 5 years with a no-move clause or whatever. Of course, that's not the case. We have him for 3 years, which, that's a pretty short term. This will last until he's like 29 or 30. So that's not necessarily, like, bad. The average annual value is $4 million, which, in my opinion, is fair for a player of Gudbranson's caliber, at least judging from the Gudbranson that we've seen recently against Boston, and the one that we saw at the beginning of the season with Delzato. That Gudbranson is definitely worth $4 million. And it's not like we need the cap anyway, because, well, the Sedins are coming off the books, right? But going forward, I really just hope that we have the right mindset going through with this, because I know that there are a lot of fans who really dislike this, and I know that there are a lot of fans who are okay with this, and it's fine to have your own opinion and everything, but just don't go out there telling other people that they're wrong for having their own opinion. Go crazy in the comment section below, but just don't freak out at anybody for believing something other than you. And I'm not going to do it because I understand the points of views. Heck, I was on the completely opposite end of this spectrum a few weeks ago. I was completely against re-signing Gudbranson, and now I'm here saying that I'm okay with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plus, wrestling and gaming, and bye.